The jungle was quiet that morning. Birds didn't sing. No animals moved. The air was heavy, like the forest was holding its breath. Logan, the only human on the planet Valeria 9, stepped carefully through the thick vines. His boots crunched softly on the damp ground. He was a survivor. A crash had left him stranded here a year ago, but he had learned to live with the land. He hunted, built shelter, and avoided the dangerous alien beasts that ruled the jungle. But today felt different. As he moved near a strange tree with glowing leaves, something caught his eye. Half buried under moss and twisted roots, a faint light pulsed. He knelt, brushed the moss aside, and found a smooth, round object. It was no rock. It was an egg. The egg was warm. It was covered in fine blue scales with small red cracks running over it like lightning. Logan tilted his head, curious. "What are you?" he whispered. He looked around. No signs of a nest. No signs of a parent. Nothing. The egg was alone. He could have left it. He should have. But something about it felt alive, like it was waiting for him. He wrapped it in his jacket and carried it back to his camp. Back at his shelter, made from scrap metal and woven branches, Logan placed the egg inside a heated crate. He monitored it, studied it, talked to it. Days passed. The egg's glow grew stronger. Then, on the 7th day, it cracked. Logan jumped back as tiny pieces broke off the shell. From inside, a small snout pushed through. It made a soft squeaking sound, almost like a kitten. A moment later, a tiny creature fell out of the shell and onto Logan's jacket. It was no normal hatchling. It had sharp eyes, almost intelligent. Black scales shimmered under the light. Tiny wings rested on its back, and its tail had a blade-like tip. The claws on its feet were sharp enough to scratch metal. Yet it was no bigger than a rabbit. The creature blinked up at Logan and gave a soft hiss. Logan froze. Was this thing dangerous? The creature crawled toward him and curled up in his lap. He exhaled slowly and chuckled. "All right, little guy. I guess I'm your mom now." He named it Spike. Days turned into weeks. Spike grew fast, faster than anything Logan had ever seen. What started as a baby-sized lizard now reached up to his knee. It could climb trees in seconds. It hunted rats and small birds. It even started mimicking Logan's voice when he called its name. But there was something more. Something strange. Spike understood. Not like a pet. Not like an animal. He listened like a soldier. He trained like one too. When Logan told him to sit, he did. When Logan tossed a stick and said guard, Spike growled and stood watch for hours. Logan couldn't explain it. It was as if the creature was built for war. One night as they sat by the fire, Logan looked into Spike's eyes. "What are you really?" Spike blinked and tilted his head. He was calm, but his tail twitched sharply. Suddenly, the jungle rustled. Logan stood up, picking up his homemade spear. From the trees, a large beast crept forward. 8 legs, glowing eyes, and giant jaws dripping poison. A Skreth, one of the deadliest predators on the planet. Logan backed up slowly. He had seen what a Skreth could do. Nothing survived its bite. The creature lunged. Before Logan could react, Spike leapt between them. He roared, not a squeak, not a hiss, a real, thunderous roar. In seconds, he tackled the Skreth and ripped into it like a trained killer. The fight was fast, brutal. Spike tore off a leg, then another. The beast screamed but didn't last long. Spike stood over the corpse, panting. Logan stared in shock. The tiny creature he raised had just defeated a monster 4 times its size. "What the hell are you?" Logan whispered again. The next morning, unknown to Logan, glowing eyes watched him from the trees above. Alien warriors in tribal armor whispered among themselves. "He has raised a shadow fang. It listens to him like a bonded beast." "What should we do?" One figure stepped forward, the princess of the Valerian jungle tribe. She said nothing, but her gaze stayed fixed on the human and his deadly companion. She frowned. If what she saw was true, her tribe was in danger, and soon she would have no choice. From the moment Logan saw Spike tear through a screth like paper, everything changed. He no longer saw him as a pet. He saw him as something else, something ancient, something made for war. Logan didn't sleep that night. He sat near the fire with his spear in hand, watching the creature he had raised from a glowing egg. Spike curled beside him, snoring softly like a harmless pup. But Logan couldn't forget the way those jaws crushed bone, or how fast Spike moved, faster than any animal on this planet. By morning, Logan made a decision. If this creature was a killer, then he had to train it, control it. If he didn't, someday it might turn on him, or worse. It might become something no one could stop. So the training began. At first it was simple. Commands like sit, stay, and follow. Spike already understood most of them. He was smart, scary smart. Logan gave him food only when he obeyed. He punished him with silence when he disobeyed. It worked. Soon, Logan was teaching Spike to climb trees silently, to track invisible scents, and to recognize traps. He made obstacle courses from jungle vines and fallen logs. Spike moved through them like a soldier in training, but that wasn't the strange part. The strange part was how Spike started changing. Faster, stronger. Every night his body grew, his claws sharper, tail longer, wings spreading wider. His eyes were no longer cute. They were hunter eyes, sharp, focused, intelligent, and they always watched Logan. Logan carved armor pieces from old crash ship metal. He made shoulder plates and tail guards for Spike. At first, they annoyed the creature, but after a few days, Spike wore them like a second skin. One day, Spike brought back a gift, a dead predator from deep inside the jungle. Not for food, for display, like a message. Logan didn't know who the message was for, until he saw it. Just beyond the tree line, shadows, eyes. Logan saw movement in the trees. Not animals, people, aliens. He shouted, "I know you're there." "No." Reply. So he threw the screth's head toward them and said, "This is what my pet does to monsters. If you're smart, you'll stay back." The shadows disappeared. Logan felt a chill. These were not just jungle animals watching him. These were the Valerian tribe, the native warriors of the planet. He remembered what the AI from his wrecked ship had told him. Avoid the forest people. They do not trust off-worlders, and they never ever tolerate tamed predators. But it was too late now. Spike wasn't just tamed, he was bonded, and the tribe had seen it. That night, the Valerian princess stood in the highest tree, her silver hair glowing under the moonlight. She watched the human feed the beast. She watched the beast lie at his feet like a loyal hound. She spoke in her language to the elders beside her. "This is the monster from our stories," she said. "A shadow fang. A creature born to destroy empires, but it listens to a human." One elder growled, "Then kill the human, and the beast will die." The princess shook her head. "No. If we kill him now, the beast may go wild. He must be tested first. If he fails, then we end them both." Back at the camp, Logan didn't know he was being judged. He only knew one thing: Spike was getting harder to control. The beast now snarled when strangers approached. He once tried to chase a jungle hawk right off a cliff, and when Logan shouted to stop him, Spike froze in midair, his wings flapping hard to catch him. He obeyed, every time. But Logan could feel it, barely, like walking on thin ice. One mistake, and the predator inside Spike might break loose. The next morning, Logan woke up to find a gift at the edge of his camp. A silver spear, clean, sharp, tribal markings carved into the wood, and tied to it, a note written in rough English. "Train him well, human. You are being watched." The message was clear. They were giving him a chance, but it wouldn't last forever. Logan picked up the spear, looked at Spike, and said, "Looks like we're in this together, buddy. Let's show them who's really in charge." Spike growled softly and sat beside him, ready. The jungle was too quiet again. Logan felt it in his bones. No birds, no wind, no insects, not even Spike made a sound. The great beast stood still beside him, muscles tense, ears twitching. They weren't alone. Then, from the shadows, they came. Dozens of tall alien warriors stepped into the light. Their skin was bronze, their eyes glowing yellow. Each one carried a curved blade and wore armor made of bones, feathers, and vines. They surrounded Logan's camp without saying a word. Logan didn't move. He stood still, hand resting near his spear. Spike growled low, ready to attack. Then she appeared, the Valerian princess. She stepped out from between the trees, taller and calmer than the others. Her long silver hair was tied in braids, her eyes cold and proud. Unlike the others, she didn't carry a weapon, she didn't need one. "You are the human," she said. Logan nodded. "And you're the ones watching me." She looked down at Spike. The beast stared back unblinking. "You raised it," she said. Logan gave a slow nod. "From an egg." The warriors around her tensed. The princess spoke again. "Do you know what you've done?" Logan shrugged. "I saved a life. I taught him, fed him, protected him." "You raised a Shadowfang," she snapped. "That thing beside you is not a pet. It is a destroyer. One Shadowfang once wiped out 5 cities in 3 days, and you raised it like a child." Logan looked at Spike, then back at her. "He listens to me. He protects me." "Until he doesn't," she replied. Then the princess stepped forward and tossed something at his feet. It was a bone, burned, blackened, clawed. "This is from the last village a Shadowfang passed through. He was smaller than yours, and no one lived to tell the tale." The warriors around her started chanting softly in their native tongue. Logan felt the threat in the air. "You want to kill him?" he said quietly. "No," she replied. "We want to test you." Before Logan could speak again, the warriors parted. From behind them came a cage made of glowing energy. Inside was a beast twice the size of Spike, a mutant jungle monster with tusks, 6 legs, and armor-like scales. "The Boneback," the princess said. "It destroyed one of our scout teams last week. None of our warriors can kill it." She turned to Logan. "You will fight it, with your beast." Logan's eyes narrowed. "Why?" "To see if you control him, or if he controls you." Logan looked at Spike. The creature growled, already focused on the enemy behind the cage. He whispered, "You don't have to do this." But Spike stepped forward. The warriors stepped back. Even they were scared. The cage dropped. The Boneback roared and charged, and the jungle shook. The fight was savage. The Boneback slammed into Spike with full force. Trees snapped. The ground cracked. But Spike moved like lightning. He clawed the monster's eyes, dodged the tusks, and bit down on its throat. Logan didn't shout, didn't command. He only watched. And Spike obeyed without a word. He didn't kill the Boneback. He beat it, then backed away. He showed mercy. The warriors gasped. The princess stared, shocked. That's impossible," she said. "Shadowfangs don't show mercy. They kill everything." Logan stepped beside Spike and placed a hand on his head. "Maybe no one ever gave them a choice," he said. The princess looked at him, uncertain now. Then she turned to her people. "Take him to the council," she ordered. "Let the elders decide." Later, deep in the Valerian treetop city, Logan stood before a ring of glowing thrones. Ancient aliens with tattoos of war beasts watched him closely. The princess stood beside him, silent. The High Elder leaned forward. "You have trained the untrainable, controlled the uncontrollable, but this is not enough." "What more do you want?" Logan asked calmly. The Elder's eyes glowed brighter. "We want your loyalty." The treetop city was beautiful and deadly. Logan stood inside a wooden hall built into the tallest tree, its walls glowing softly with natural light. Vines covered the ceilings and warriors guarded every door. But Logan wasn't thinking about escape. He was thinking about what the High Elder had said hours ago. If your loyalty is true, you must prove it, not just to us, but to her. Logan didn't understand what that meant. Not yet. That night, the door to his room opened. It was her, the Valerian princess. She entered without guards, without armor, only wearing a long dark cloak. Her silver hair was loose and her expression was unreadable. Logan stood up. You again. She didn't speak. She walked past him to the window and looked out at the jungle. Her arms crossed behind her back. Then she finally said, You and your creature changed everything. Logan frowned. I didn't mean to cause trouble. She turned to him. You did more than cause trouble. You gave hope and fear. She walked closer. In our legends, shadow fangs bring the end. No one controls them. But yours listens to you like you're its soul. The council is divided. Half want to kill you. Half want to keep you as a weapon. Logan tensed. What do you want? She stared into his eyes. I want the truth. Then she pulled out a dagger and handed it to him. Logan stepped back, confused. If I die, she said, my people will never trust you. They will believe you betrayed me. And they will destroy everything connected to you. Logan's grip tightened on the blade. You're insane. No, she said softly. I am tired. Of war. Of fear. Of legends ruling our choices. She stepped even closer. I was sent here to kill your beast in secret. Poison it. End this problem before it becomes too big. Logan's eyes darkened. So why didn't you? The princess paused, and then she smiled faintly. Because your creature protected a child today. Logan blinked. What? One of our little ones wandered into your camp earlier, she explained. A brave fool. Before the guards could grab him, the beast blocked a falling branch with its body. I didn't even know, Logan whispered. The princess stepped back and sat on the floor, cross-legged. She looked so different now. Not a ruler, not a soldier, just a woman, tired of her duty. I believe your bond with that creature is different, maybe even sacred, she said. But the elders won't be convinced unless we act. Logan raised an eyebrow. Act how? She looked up with serious eyes. We must leave the city. Together. You, me, and the beast. There's a hidden shrine deep in the jungle. If the beast passes the ancient test there, the council will have no choice but to accept your bond. And if it fails? Logan asked. She didn't answer. That said enough. Logan looked out the window. Below, he saw Spike sleeping peacefully in the moonlight, curled up like a harmless pet. But inside him was a storm. And maybe, just maybe, this was the only chance to change everything. Logan turned to her. We leave at dawn. The princess nodded. Pack light. We won't be coming back the same. As she walked away, Logan said, You never told me your name. She paused in the doorway. Serenia. And then she vanished into the shadows. That night, Logan couldn't sleep. He sat beside Spike and whispered, We're walking straight into something big, buddy. But you're not just a monster, not to me. Spike raised his head and gently bumped Logan's hand with his snout. It was enough. Far above, in the council chamber, two elders watched the forest through their crystal mirrors. She's taking him to the trial grounds, one hissed. Let her, said the other. If the Shadow Fang fails, the jungle will bury them all. Dawn broke with a red sky. It wasn't the color of peace. It was the color of blood. Logan, Serenia, and Spike had already left the village before the sun rose. They moved fast through the jungle, heading toward the ancient shrine for the beast's trial. But halfway through the journey, something stopped them. Smoke, thick, black, rising far behind them, from the direction of the Valerian treetop city. Serenia froze. No. Logan narrowed his eyes. What is it? She didn't answer. She just turned and ran. They returned faster than they left. Spike ran ahead, bounding through trees like a shadow. Logan and Serenia followed close behind, branches cutting their skin, dirt kicking up around their boots. When they reached the edge of the village, what they saw made them stop cold. The city was burning. Screams echoed through the jungle. Huts collapsed from flames. Warriors lay scattered, some wounded, some dead. The trees dripped black ash and children cried from hidden nests above. Logan's heart dropped, and then he saw them, the attackers. They weren't jungle beasts. They were sky raiders, off-world scavengers with metal masks, powered weapons, and armored suits. Pirates, the kind that hunted ancient worlds for treasures, or slaves. And they had come for Valeria. Serenia clenched her fists. The council was blind. We told them the stars were watching, and now they fall on us with fire. Logan looked at Spike. Time to show them what you really are. Logan didn't wait. He grabbed his spear and charged straight into the chaos. Spike roared behind him, no longer small, no longer just a companion. He moved like a nightmare, leaping from tree to tree, his armor shining, claws tearing through metal. A pirate shot a plasma blast. Spike caught it, with his wings. Then he crushed the attacker into the dirt. The villagers stared in shock. The beast they feared was protecting them, and Logan, he was fighting like one of them. Serenia moved with deadly grace, her blade dancing through enemies like wind through grass. She shouted orders in her native tongue. Protect the nests, guard the council tree. But the pirates were everywhere, and then Logan saw one of them aim a cannon at the upper canopy, where the children were hiding. No, he shouted. But before the shot fired, Spike jumped. He took the blast full in the chest. It exploded in fire and smoke. Logan's heart stopped. Spike. For a moment. Silence. Then from the flames, a growl, and Spike stepped out. Armor burned. Scales cracked. But alive. He wasn't just a beast anymore. He was a guardian. He roared, louder than thunder, and charged the pirates with fury. One by one, the invaders fell. Some ran. Others were torn apart. Logan and Serenia stood side by side, blades bloody, breath heavy. The Valerians slowly gathered around them, eyes wide, silent, watching the human and the monster who saved their lives. The battle ended as fast as it started. Smoke still rose. Bodies lay scattered, but the city stood, because of a human and his monster. The High Elder, burned and bruised, was carried before them. He looked at Spike, then at Logan. With a weak voice he said, "You are no longer outsider. You are guardian of beast, of tribe, of blood." Serenia looked at Logan. She didn't smile, but her eyes were softer now. "You saved my people," she whispered. Logan glanced at Spike, who limped beside him, tail still high. "I didn't save them," he said. "We did. But deep in the jungle, far beyond the treetop city, something else had awakened. A signal, a call. The raid had not been random. Someone, something, wanted the Shadowfang. And it was coming. The fire was out, the dead were buried, but the storm had only just begun. Logan sat beside Spike, wrapping a cloth around the beast's wounded leg. The creature whined softly, leaning into his touch. It had saved the Valerian village, protected the children, crushed the invaders, and now lay quiet like a loyal dog. Logan whispered, "You did good, big guy. Real good." Behind him, Serenia, the Valerian princess, stood in silence. She had watched everything, the fight, the fire, the way her people looked at the human now, not with fear, but with hope, and that was dangerous. Later, under the glowing branches of the council tree, the elders met in private. Logan was summoned again. His clothes were torn, his hands stained with ash, but he stood tall. The High Elder leaned forward. "The tribe lives because of you and your beast." Another elder added, "Our people speak your name with honor. The children carved your image beside our legends." Serenia remained silent, watching her people argue. Logan frowned. You didn't bring me here to say thank you. What is it you want? The room went quiet. Then the High Elder spoke clearly. We want you to stay. Logan blinked. Stay? The Elder nodded. You saved our home. Now we want you to become part of it. Another Elder spoke. Valeria has no king, only bloodlines. If Serenia chooses a mate, he becomes her equal, and your beast becomes tri-protector by law. Logan turned sharply. Wait, what are you saying? All eyes turned to Serenia. The princess stepped forward. Eyes calm, voice steady. I choose you. Logan's heart stopped. The room felt too quiet. You want me to marry you? He asked slowly. It's not just marriage, Serenia said. It's alliance, protection, legacy. If I don't choose a mate soon, the council may give the role to someone else. Someone who sees Spike as a weapon, not a friend. Logan looked at her. He had fought beside her, bled beside her, seen the steel in her hands and fire in her heart. She wasn't just a ruler. She was a survivor. And this wasn't just politics. It was survival. Still, Logan didn't speak right away. He walked outside the tree hall into the quiet night air. Stars shone above the jungle sky. Spike limped beside him, sniffing the breeze. She serious? He asked aloud. Spike blinked like he was judging him. Logan laughed weakly. Yeah, I know. No pressure. Then Serenia joined him. She stood beside him quietly for a while before speaking. My people think power comes from strength, from claws, from bloodlines. But I saw power today, in a human who risked everything for people he didn't even know. Logan looked at her. I didn't save them for power. I know, she said. That's why I trust you. Then, for the first time, she reached out and placed her hand gently on his. I don't want to marry a weapon. I want a partner. Someone who tames beasts, not becomes one. Logan smiled just a little. And what if I say yes? Then tomorrow you'll stand beside me before the tribe, and Valeria will never doubt you again. He looked at her hand, then at Spike. Finally, he nodded. All right, princess, you've got yourself a deal. But far away, deep underground, a dark screen blinked alive. A deep voice echoed from a hidden station orbiting Valeria. Target confirmed. Shadow Fang bonded to human, preparing extraction. The next storm was coming. The jungle was alive with drums. Not the drums of war, but the drums of a royal bond. Lanterns of glowing fruit hung from the trees. The Valerian people filled the city's hanging bridges, tree nests, and spiral walkways, whispering in excitement. Tonight, they would witness something no one had ever seen. A human becoming one with their royal bloodline, and a Shadow Fang standing as the tribe's sacred guardian. Logan stood beneath the sacred moonlight, wearing new tribal armor made from sky metal and forest leather. His chest bore the mark of the Valerian crest, carved by the High Elder himself. Spike stood beside him, fully healed, towering now with wide wings and armor like scales. He wore ceremonial tusks and feathers behind his horns. But even now, Logan felt something was wrong. Serenia had not arrived yet, and deep in his chest the air felt tense. Then the sky cracked. A loud humming sound echoed above the jungle canopy. The drums stopped. All eyes turned skyward. From the clouds, a massive shadow appeared, long, black, and mechanical. A ship, silent and deadly. It hovered above the trees, ignoring the glowing city, ignoring the people. It locked onto one target. Spike. A voice echoed from loudspeakers above. We have come for the beast. Hand it over, or we will take it. Logan's eyes widened. No, Serenia ran to his side, sword in hand. The raiders, they weren't pirates. They were scouts. This was the real threat. Valerian warriors readied their weapons, but the ship powered up its front cannon. The crowd screamed. Elders shouted. Children cried, and Logan stepped forward. No, he yelled at the ship. He's not yours. He's not a weapon. He's mine. The cannon began to charge. Then Logan did something no one expected. He jumped on Spike's back. "Let's fly, buddy," Spike roared, and then for the first time in front of the whole tribe, he flew. Wings burst open, wind shook the trees, and Logan and Spike soared into the sky, heading straight for the warship. Explosions followed. The ship opened fire, but Spike dodged through. The blasts like lightning. Logan held tight, gripping his spear with one hand, shouting into the wind. "Now, Spike, show them what you are." The beast charged forward, smashing through the ship's side, breaking metal with bone and claw. Logan leapt inside the breach. Inside, soldiers waited, but Logan was ready. He fought like a storm, for his beast, for his bride, for his new people. Back below, the tribe watched in awe. Serenia stood at the center, sword drawn, whispering a quiet prayer. Then, the ship exploded in the sky. Fire lit up the jungle. Everyone gasped. Silence fell. And then, wings. Spike emerged from the smoke, carrying Logan, bloodied but smiling. They had won. Together, Logan landed with Spike in the center of the city. The people rushed forward, shouting his name. "Logan, Logan, Shadow Rider!" Serenia ran to him and hugged him tightly, her voice shaking. "I thought I lost you." He grinned weakly. "Told you I'm hard to kill." The High Elder stepped forward, falling. To one knee, all of Valeria now knows. This human is not outsider. He is protector. And the beast, no longer cursed, but sacred. That night, beneath the stars, Logan stood beside Serenia, both wearing the royal bond markings. The tribe cheered, and Spike sat proudly behind them, watching over his new home. He was no longer a monster from the jungle. He was a guardian, a legend, a friend.